Hello my friends, William Poloniak here from Whole Health Foundation. I'm here with Tracy, who came from Chandler, Arizona for a juice demonstration, and today I'm going to make some juice with these ingredients. My juice formula today depends on what I have in my garden. I have about 5 collard green leaves here and French sorrel. And French sorrel is one of my favorite greens because not only does it make your juice sweet, but it cleanses every gland in your body. I'm also going to put in some cucumber and some zucchini, a little bit of red bell pepper, some turmeric, some ginger, and about 10 or 12 pounds of carrots. First thing I'm going to do is plug in my thermometer and put in 3 ice cubes to cool down the cutter and cool down the feed tube. I want to point out that you put the ice through very slowly, and you can recycle it because you want the temperature to transfer to the cutter and the feed tube, not shoot all the way through. So the first thing I'm going to do is start with the collard greens. And I'll roll this into a little package. Remember to check your wing nuts every so often, rotate your bowl. And next I'm going to start with the French sorrel. Clean your grid frequently because greens are very, very fibrous, as you can see. And I want to point out that when you clean your grid, you want to scrape it off instead of slice it. You don't want your knife to be hitting your fingers, so you're scraping it off. And you put your grid back in. And let's do some more French sorrel. We're up to 26 degrees, so I'm going to put in 3 ice cubes. Cucumber or ice cubes, you tend to clear out the chute, so you want to be very careful to keep this covered. Let's put in another cucumber. And turmeric and ginger. A little more French sorrel. Okay, I'm down to my last of my greens, and this is the last cucumber. Next, I'm going to switch to my carrots. I'll point out that when you have small carrots, you can reverse them and save a little time that way. Put 2 or 3 carrots through. And then I'm going to clean the J grid, which is usually for greens, and switch to the number 2 grid, which is 1/8 inch holes for carrots, because the 1/8 inch holes does a better job. Does a better job for carrots. And then we'll continue. Okay, I've done the rest of my carrots. I've done all of my carrots. And what I'm going to do now is clean my grid, remove the thermometer, and then clean the feed tube and reassemble before I mix my produce and press the juice. Okay, now I've cleaned the feed tube. I'm going to put the grid holder back in with the grid. The cutter goes to the top with the hole facing down so it'll drain. And somebody once asked me, why do I clean the feed tube before I juice? Why don't I just do it later? Well, for me, I just like everything to be clean before I make my juice. And I mix my produce by spinning the bowl in both directions. Just use the gloves to keep everything neat and tidy like I'm doing here, kind of like my glove becomes a spatula. So I'm ready to make juice. what I have here is my cloths from the freezer, and I'm just going to kind of crack them on the edge of the table, and then separate my cloths and open them up. Get it ready for making juice. I'm going to demonstrate what I call my less work 6-cloth method. Put the juice tray up here, and what I'm going to do is put 3 spoons full, approximately a cup's worth of pulp. I'm going to fold it in thirds, pat that down. It's very important to be tight and flat. So I'll pull this and set it aside. We're going to press 2 cloths at one time because you get better pressure that way. And then what I'm going to do is put these first 2 cloths in the juicer, get the juicing process started, fill the rest of the cloths. So there we go. And we want to center this left to right and front to back. That's very important. All the way back and then back it off a little bit. You don't want it to go up too fast. And let's continue with the rest of the cloths. Flatten it a little bit. And you can take a look at how I fold it with my fingers here. I'm going to tuck it underneath and set that aside. Advance it a tiny bit more. Pretty well eyeball a cup's worth of produce and pull it into a tight package. Now my 6-cloth method, you pull this forward, this goes over, the spent pulp goes on top, and the new cloths go inside. Now there's 2 ways to do my less work 6-cloth method. One way is to put new pulp on top of the old pulp. 2 spoons at first, later 1 spoon because this patty will be very thick. So new pulp on top of the old pulp. And the other method, because there's a lot of juice in the bowl and here, is to put this pulp back in the bowl to mix in with that liquid in the bowl. And we'll mix that up and then we'll continue with new pulp. And once you get all the juice in the bowl mixed with the old pulp, it won't be as runny. You can use my first less work 6-cloth method, but don't throw away your pulp until the very end. So advance it all the way. Pull this forward. 2 new cloths in here. All the way, back it off a little bit. Now this is going to be very tricky because I've got a puddle in here of juice, so what I'm going to do is very, very carefully pour this into the bowl and then continue with my less work 6-cloth method. And what I'm going to do now is put new pulp on top of the old pulp. Flatten it, set it aside, advance it more. Most of my bowl's almost full. So what I'm going to do in a moment is stop and fill my bottles. Here's something that I do. I'm going to fill the bottles and leave about 8% unfilled, which I'm going to top off with filtered or distilled water. Let's continue making more juice. Alright, 2 more cloths, centered left to right, front to back. Very important to have it centered all the way back it off a little bit. And I notice I have some puddling in my juice bowl, so I'm going to put this back in to absorb all that puddle of juice. And mix it in, and then put new pulp. This is a variation of my less work 6-cloth method. Nice tight package, flatten it, set it aside. On the last cloth, so advance it a little bit more. This time I'm going to put new pulp on top of the old pulp. Advance it all the way. Okay, I'm down to the last of my pulp. And I'm going to use a spatula to get the rest of that pulp out there because I don't want to waste anything. The last of the juice is pressing. I'm going to take the spent pulp and I'm going to form it into a very tight ball and then repackage it again. Now notice how small that ball is. And I'm going to turn this and I'm going to fold it with the fold going under to minimize slippage. So I'm rolling that under. I'll do that in both directions. Rolling that under. That's to minimize slippage. And turn that over and flatten it. Set it aside. Advance this a little bit more. And take this spent pulp and put it into a tight ball again. And then I'm going to press these using a measuring beaker to show how much more juice we can get on a Whole Health Foundation model juicer or a Norwalk that's been converted with the bottom base plate. So let's set this aside and we'll continue forming these into a ball. Alright, I've repackaged all of this spent pulp, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put it in the juicer and see how much more juice can we get using a Whole Health Foundation juicer. And I'm centering this left to right, front to back, all the way back, back it off. We do not want that to go up too fast, so we'll use a measuring beaker to see how much more juice we're going to get. And once I get a juice flow, I'm going to advance it a little bit more. Advance it a little bit more, and a little bit more, and then all the way. You notice how much longer I can leave that up with that solid bottom plate? Bottom plate has a lifetime warranty, by the way. All right, let's put 2 new cloths in there. This is repackaged spent pulp. Centered left to right, front to back. All the way back, back it off a tiny bit. So far we've got 9 more ounces of juice, and I haven't even pressed it all the way. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pour this in the bowl. I'm going to put another cloth on top, press it again, see if we get any more juice. Now I could leave that up another minute or so, but to make this video as short as I can, I'm not going to do that. You get the idea. There's another 2 ounces of juice. So I'm going to bottle the rest of this and we'll conclude this video. Alright, I'm done with my juicing and I've got 5, 10, 13 bottles of juice, and I'm going to give it a little taste test here. Alright, let's do a taste test. This is mostly French sorrel, cucumbers, collards, a little bit of zucchini, ginger, garlic, and turmeric. Boy, that's delicious. I can taste the French sorrel. The only thing I haven't grown in my garden are the carrots, the ginger, the garlic, and the turmeric. If you have an opportunity, grow your own garden. You'll save a lot of money on produce. I hope you like what you've seen. If you do, please tell a friend. To contact me, call me at 760 753-0321. My email address is developtrust@cox.net, and my webpage is wholehealthfound.com. Here's to your health. Delicious.